Flame on, flame on, flame on, flame on, flame on.
It's about that time of day, let all the warriors come out and play. You tuned in to PB Smiley and Wayne Holloway. And me, my name's Santos, the Human Torch. And it's the hottest show around, it's called Blow the Whistle Sports. And today's the day, we talking sports and we came to play. Got no filter, we say what they all afraid to say. As last time we checked, football was a man's sport. So we don't let nothing fly like you ain't got a passport. We lot of fans, we attached to y'all. We talk about everything in the catalog, from football to basketball. We never had a loss. My team's so official, got stripes like the ref, that's why they call us Blow the Whistle. Big Packett on go like a loaded pistol. If you got a problem with us, let us know the issue. We giving y'all the realest talk on live. Tap in with us, btwsport.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blow the Whistle Sports. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Big Packett, your host, a.k.a. How you guys doing? Oh, man. It was a crazy week in football. But I don't know what y'all think, but I can't wait for this Mike Tyson fight to jump off. I want to see Mike Tyson back in rare form at an older age. Yeah, I still want to see Mike Tyson fight one more time. I wasn't satisfied with the way he went out. I didn't like that. It looked like a money grab, hugging, thanking Lennox Lewis for the fight. That's not the Mike Tyson I was ready to see. Um, it it kind of broke my heart from seeing Mike Tyson, the knockout specialist, the knockout artist, to Mike Tyson, the nice guy, thanking somebody that just socked on him. Nah. But let's get into this football. My goodness. This year with these masks and this COVID-19 has got your boy down. Way down. I mean, fantasy football has just been a big upset for me this year. What can I say? Between injuries and people be getting put in COVID-19 protocol, this season has been such trash for your boy. But hey, we're going to make the best of it. At least I get to watch me some football, even if the backups are playing. Last week, I had somebody call in. Hopefully he'll call in this week. So we can go over it. Let me put the number up so he can see. Or whoever would like to call in, come challenge the host. Talk to me, I talk back. But it's a crazy week in football. And let's start with a little bit of news. Carolina, Cali Cat Pack, Roy Wyatt, holla at your boy. Bridgewater is expected to play, but not Christian McCaffrey. So what can I say? I'm surprised we did as good as we did last week playing against the Lions. Matthew Stafford, I hurt Matthew Stafford. But nevertheless, were we that good, or was the Lions just that bad? I'm a diehard Carolina fan, but, I got to keep it 100 with you people. I think the Lions were just that bad. Just that bad. But, I see it on the horizon. I see my team picking it up. I see us doing our thing and getting it on with. Let's talk quarterbacks now. Brady is playing for Tampa Bay. Is he old and over the hill, or was that just a bad showing? That game right there sent off a lot of alarms to me. I didn't put Brady into that bunch, but now I have to throw Brady into that bunch with Teddy Bridgewater, Kirk Cousins. Well, Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins, but Teddy Bridgewater, Tom Brady, and there's others that as soon as you touch them, you get one or more sacks of them, the game just goes into the trash. They're going to start throwing picks. They're not going to be themselves. As you saw, Tom Brady playing with New England, never before getting touched that much. And now he's on Tampa Bay, and those boys let Tom Brady get touched on a regular. If he's not touched, he's hurried. And hurried Tom Brady, this is the type of game that you get. Disgusting. Is he over the hill? I think not. I think that if they get him a little more protection back there, he'll be able to dish that ball out just like normal. But until then, if they get in that line, they rush Tom Brady or they put their hands on Tom Brady will give that ball up, as we all see. Let's get into the games from last week. Ones that to mention. That Thursday night game, like I called it, Seahawks would beat the Cardinals 28-21. Russell Wilson did his thing. He looked good, looked decent in that game. He has some exciting wide receivers over there. To this week, he should be getting Carson back, his running back. So look forward to the Seahawks having another stellar game this week also. What's another game to mention? We're not going to talk about runover games this week. Cam Newton, New England, 20. The Texans, the 3-7 Texans, 27. Wow. Cam Newton, best athletic quarterback in football. He could be the pillar of what all quarterbacks need to know they need to look like. But as in playing, you get what you get from Cam Newton. If he doesn't work on his accuracy, if he's not going to work on his accuracy, he will always be this quarterback. Even when he played for us, he has those up games, he has those down games, but in every game, he's going to overthrow somebody and he's going to underthrow somebody wide open. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Cam Newton, physical specimen, and absolute number one QB. Not anymore. He's not the same person. He has the spunk, he has it all, but he's missing accuracy. Without accuracy, Cam Newton is a broken machine. I'm sorry, I have to go out there and put it out there. He can make games happen with his feet, but without the accuracy, we'll always get that. The Browns will make the playoffs this season. The Browns, one and done in the playoffs, though. One and done in the playoffs. I don't see the Browns making any noise in the playoffs. Browns fans, just be happy that the Browns made it to the playoffs. Let me see. People, like, subscribe, and share, please. It helps me out. We'll be out of the house hopefully soon with this COVID thing and back into the studio. But right now, having fun, relax. I can go grab my snacks if I need to. But like, subscribe, and share. I like to hear what people have to say. I go and make comments. And it's always good. You can call in and say what you need to say. I have the phone number up. There's our website. You can go to Blow the Whistle Sports, check out the website. It's under construction, but you can still go check it out. We have more things that will be coming up soon. There goes the number. Let's get back to these games from last week. I'm not going to mention all the games. We're going to just get into the games that mean something. New Orleans Saints against Atlanta. I have to give it to Hill. I didn't think Hill could play better than Winston, but it looks like that's going to be their transition guy from Drew Brees is Hill. And Winston will be the backup. The Saints have some trading power. They can trade Winston to a team. I don't know if you keep him on the bench and use him, but we'll see. Hill for right now, looking marvelous, doing his thing, throwing that ball around there, and he's still marching the Saints on without Drew Brees. And this is going to be life without Drew Brees. Uh, oh, somebody said my website is up there blurry. Let me put it up there for you again. Is that better? btwsport.com. You can check us out at btwsport.com. And that's the phone number if you want to call in. Thank you for letting me know about that. You know, coming to you from home, anything is liable to happen. Another juicy game. The Titans at the Ravens. Ravens, you squeaked that out of there. The Titans, there's no way the Titans should have lost that game. The Ravens are a heartbeat away. They will not do much. The Ravens looked good last season only because nobody had any tape on them. And now that they have tape on them, you see, they'll pull some games out of there, but I don't see the Ravens doing much. Not this season. Not this season. They need to get their weapon, Des Bryant, acclimated to that offense a little more. You can see they were a little off on the field those plays. Oh, what's up, Omar? How you doing, sir? I put the number up. You're not able to see that number? The number is 1-747-609-1014. 1-747-609-1014. Just going over the games from last week, sir. More than welcome to call in. I like your opinion. But the Ravens pulled it out, so which moves them to 6-4, and the Titans are at 7-3. They should be at 8-3, because the Titans' running game off the chain, off the chain. I'll wait till Omar, Mr. Good, calls in. So therefore, I have a question to really ask him. I want to know what his opinion is. As for me, top 3 running backs. Let me get off of the games for a second. Top 3 running backs. From talking about Tennessee Titans, top 3 running backs in the NFL. Number 1 running back would have to be Cook from Minnesota. I have to put him at number 1 as the running back, the premier running back in the NFL this season. Second running back, my number 2 pick would have to be the Tennessee Titans. That beast in the backfield. My goodness. The first season he came with that team, I would have never thought. He looked like a bust. He looked like he was going to turn out to be a Fournette type of player where you could see that he has skills but just didn't gel with the team. He looked a little off, but now that he has his rhythm and they have the precise running plays to do with this man. This man is a straight beast in the backfield, and it's hard to say with putting that much on him and giving him number 2 and giving Cook number 1. Cook is without a doubt the truck, the truck in the NFL. He's trucking over players. He's making people look bad on almost every play. But hey, there's nothing taken away from our Tennessee Titan running back, Derrick Henry. This last game, he had 28 carries on 133 yards and 1 touchdown. He was averaging 5 yards a carry. Derrick Henry is my solid number 2 pick in the NFL. But I said top 3. Coming up strong in third and blowing my mind because, wow, I didn't think that this running back on this team would look so good. The Las Vegas, almost called them the LA, Las Vegas Raiders having the number 3 running back in the NFL, premier running back. It used to be a running back driven game, and it still is, but a lot of teams are doing running back by committee. And right now, there's only a few workhorses in the NFL, and you have to give them daps because the workhorse in the NFL is not done like they used to do. Each team used to have a workhorse, and you had your third down back. But now, with the way the NFL's changed, Cook being number 1, Derrick Henry being number 2, and Jacobs on the Las Vegas Raiders coming up number 3. Premier running backs. If you picked him up in the draft for your fantasy football team, Josh Jacobs is the man. Now, he didn't average many yards this outing, but being a total back, receiving and rushing, Josh Jacobs hand down the number 3 running back. Now, arguably, you can tell me what you want to tell me, but Josh Jacobs to me is number 3, my top 3 running backs. Mr. Good, if when you finally decide to call in, or if you are going to call in, that's my question I want to ask to you. Who would be your top 3 running backs in the NFL, and why do you feel that way? Moving on to Green Bay at the Colts. Green Bay, Green Bay. Wow. They went into overtime and the Colts squeaked it out with that last minute field goal. The bad man, Aaron Rodgers, was up, looking dominating, looking good the whole game. And then Phillip Rivers went into his bag of tricks and did his thing. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I have people asking me, where's Mr. Smiley? Mr. Smiley has a few things going on. And to be honest with you, Mr. Smiley's cooking my dinner because Mr. Smiley is cooking Thanksgiving for us, and I will talk to him tomorrow. And I will have more updates about what's going on with Mr. Smiley next week, Thursday, when we normally do the show. We're doing Wednesday this week because, as you know, we got the Turkey Day games. And speaking of the Turkey Day games, the Baltimore game has been flexed. They flexed the Baltimore game, and they have not scheduled it. I've heard rumors they wanted to make it for Sunday night and move the game from Sunday night game. Then I heard they wanted to go to make it a Monday night game. And right now they have it on NFL.com that it's not yet scheduled yet, but it's up and coming. The Baltimore game will be played either Monday or Sunday. But the Turkey Day games, we got our Cowboys game and our Detroit game. The Cowboys are looking like they want to kick up a little dust after coming in there and being 2-6 and going in there and going down to the Vikings home and kicking their butt. When the Vikings, they must have thought that they were going to go in there and just run over the Cowboys with as trash as the Cowboys have been playing this season. And yes, the Cowboys have been playing like trash. The Cowboys came in to Minnesota, took Kirk Cousins by the horn and slammed him on the ground and finally took a game and finally looked like the Cowboys of old. Defense still so. I want to say trash, but the defense is what the defense is. The Cowboys need a few pieces on defense. If PB was here, I would get into that. But right now, it's when they go through these picks. Get your betting picks from me, so you can make some money. And let's move on. Cowboys 31, Minnesota Vikings 28. Green Bay got smashed. Well, I won't say smashed. They lost by just a field goal to the Colts. And then that Monday night game, that awesome Monday night game that I told you the Raiders looked like the team that they could win. I thought the Raiders would go in there and win, but like I told you, no matter what, even if the Raiders would have won, Kansas City still wins this Super Bowl, back-to-back Super Bowls. Patrick Mahomes will be the MVP, etc., etc., etc. Kansas City, Super Bowl champions once again. Now, moving on to the picks for this week. I'm going to go through my picks. I wasn't able to get Smiley's picks, but PB, trust me, will be making his bets on the game, and I'll try to go live from his house to get his picks before the games go on Thursday. Tennessee and the Lions. No, correction. The Texans and the Lions. Thursday night game. Well, this is Thursday morning game for Turkey Day. I'm going to take the Texans to go in there and smash the Lions. I was talking to PB briefly. PB said he smells an upset, and I told PB he's smelling something else because I don't see any upset going down. Oh, we have a call. Let's see who's calling. Hello, welcome to Blood Whistle Sports. Caller, say your name, please.
Homer, how you doing?
Oh, what's going on, sir? I thought you weren't going to call in.
Oh no, man. I was on the phone. I was eating. That something came up. My bad, bro.
Oh, not a problem. Not a problem. Not a problem. I was just about to do the picks for this week. I had started some of the games. You called me just in time because I was just on the Turkey Day games. I don't know if you heard, but they flexed one of the games. They moved the Pittsburgh game.
Ravens are scared that fuck. The Ravens got scared. The Ravens got scared and they wanted the extra time. They didn't want to catch that. They didn't want to catch that beat down on prime time. They didn't want to see that.
Hey, I believe it's going to be another beatdown, but it's all for nothing. Do you think the Pittsburgh is really going to make it to the Super Bowl?
No. Pittsburgh loses. They win the first game. They get excited and lose to whoever comes in. They lose in the second game. They'll get that first victory. I'd say they lose. The way things always work, they should lose one of these games, like at least the second to the last game or something. Lose one game. Because right now, what's going on, they are running that same exact thing week in, week out. They're not safe. What's going to happen is when playoff come around, copycat league, playoff come around, they're not going to know what to do. They're going to catch that one hard game. They'll win the first game. They'll get that bye, win the first game. The next game, which is the championship series, they'll lose that one.
So what you're trying to say is they're a one-trick pony. That you see them do the same thing every week, and it's easy to figure them out.
Absolutely. They have. Tell me one receiver on that team that you would take on your team if you needed one. Tell me one running back to take on that team if you needed one. Would you trade off your running back for that guy?
But what it is they have a Hall of Fame quarterback, Super Bowl champion quarterback, and he knows how to dish that ball out.
Well, Philip Rivers is a Hall of Fame quarterback too because he beat another Hall of Fame. Philip Rivers is also a Hall of Fame quarterback without a ring.
True. But we're talking about a quarterback that's been there, done that, and he knows what to do. We're not talking about Philip Rivers. We're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers going into each game, and you're talking about them being a one-trick pony. I'm talking about not Philip Rivers. Big Ben, Roethlisberger, doing his thing, passing it to all these. Well, Juju is not an unknown name, but he's not the person they thought he was. They thought he was going to be just like Antonio Brown, and you're not going to get that same chemistry from Juju. You will get a stellar wide receiver, but they have that new guy over there. I believe his name is Clay. That he's been stepping up for them. big time.
Yeah, speaking of which, I guess I forgot that. Antonio Brown, did AB, did he have 200 yards like you said he would?
Okay. Like, you know what? I'm glad you called it. I'm sorry, folks. Before we get into going through the picks for the next week, you watched the game, right?
Yes, I watched the game happily. Watched the game.
Okay. Now, by you watching that game, what did you see? Because I saw exactly what I said it was, but Tom Brady and Antonio Brown are still not synced. Still not synced.
They can't be synced because there's a difference. He doesn't have the best, one of the best coordinators in the last decade calling plays for him. Period. That's the reason why Tom Brady is, in my book, is done. Doesn't matter what he plays for. He was successful because of his offensive play calling. Because he had a guru behind him calling those plays. We all know him. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I will take nothing away from that statement. But what I will say is, moving forward, we're talking about, because I said that Antonio Brown would have 200 yards. He missed two big passes to Antonio Brown, which Antonio Brown was open, and he would have had the same yardage. They were off by just a little bit. Just a little bit. I knew you were going to call me on that. I couldn't wait to hear you, but be honest. You saw the game. You saw the shot. You saw he was open. You saw, and he just missed them both times. That was half of those 200 yards right there.
Understand it, but there's a reason why receivers and quarterbacks, they have spring training, why they have summer training, why they have you're not just gonna pick up the ball and throw to AB and start up what you came from a couple of years, like a year ago. You need chemistry, and he barely even has that with the receivers he's got right now. He had a couple passes that he overthrew, like passes that like 5 years ago. Tom Brady doesn't miss that pass.
We'll see. Be honest with those passes you're talking about. Tom Brady, yes, it looked like he overthrew. A lot of times, working with New England, Tom Brady knew his wide receivers so much, and they knew him, that he knew that he could throw the ball the way they're running, and they would keep running and go get the ball. These wide receivers, that's why I said last week, he's getting frustrated with them, because once they break their route, they'll stop the route and they won't follow through with their route. They'll stop.
Because Tom Brady, the reason why as much as there's one team in the league that I can never hate on, and that's just the way they built. You look at the receivers that he had to work with. These guys, they're not big names. These guys, they understand that guess what? The play is not over until the play is over.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You see let's go back. You go Wes Welker. You go all the other guys. You go Amendola. These guys are constantly running. They run their route. The route doesn't end because they didn't get the ball. They're not sitting here, look, they keep running. They keep trying to get open till they hear that whistle. You look at AB, and AB used to be like that. You go back 6-7 years ago. AB would continuously. That's why he always made Big Ben look good. Even when Big Ben was a couple years ago, Big Ben was having his little issues when he was getting hit left or right. But AB never stopped running. He was always in motion. After his little route, and he doesn't have that.
I'm not going to put Tom Brady out to the pasture right now. But what I will say, like I said before you called in, if you touch Tom Brady, if you sack Tom Brady, if you rush Tom Brady, he will throw interceptions. He will throw interceptions. He's not used to that. He doesn't understand that. It didn't happen that much in New England. And if it did, he had a coach back there that knew how to calm him down and told him simply, when this happens, just do this. And
one more thing before you forget. He also, the way they called New England only ran they barely ran long plays that were longer than 10 yards. They also had running quarterback that knew that was just, they were the second read.
They would hang around, and they would hang around in the middle and be his bailout. They always knew come back and bail him out.
If Tampa Bay wants to win, guess what? Why not do the exact same thing he ran for the last fucking 20 years and see if it works? It's going to work. But you got all of these people. You got, they have a way. If they have a way of they have a game plan they want to run with. I say no. Run it the way New England ran it. Let them boys go for 6-7 yards. Let them eat.
But see, this is not New England. This is Tampa Bay, and they picked him up, and they thought Tom Brady was the genius behind Tom Brady, not knowing that offensive calling and Belichick was the man behind the man making the man who the man is. Tom Brady still has an arm, though. Tom Brady
still has an arm, but you hit him like you said. You hit him once or twice. Oh, he don't want to get hit. If I was 45, I wouldn't want to get hit by the little 22-year-old boys. Hell no, I want to get hit. So he's like,
and they hitting hard. They hitting hard out there. He knew back then when he got hit, they was calling a penalty for him because he was getting that ball out of there so fast.
Now you want to be the guy to take him out. At the end of the day, you want to be that guy because forever you're gonna be the one who made Tom Brady quit, retired. That's a good. If I was in the league, that wouldn't be bad. I want to be the guy who took that dude out. He should have been gone out 2 years ago. But you know what? I respect him. He's a legend. He's a GOAT. But I don't know, man. I think it's just every time I watch him, expecting them to what team they got right now.
I'm gonna say it like this. This is 2020. Weird year. This team. He will be there next season, and they will make a hard push. This team next season will look like I won't say a well-oiled machine, but they will look like a nice, decent machine. They'll be a lot better next season. A lot better next season.
They're gonna have to start with the play with the kind of plays they designed for him. They have to design plays that make him look good at this age. The same with New England. That's why New England is not doing this well because New England is trying to design. New England is not. You look at a New England game, it doesn't seem like a New England game when you look at it. It's just so different.
It's a whole different beast in New England right now. If you want to switch gears and go to New England, they have Cam Newton. And like I said, Cam Newton is a fine physical specimen. I mean, he's a beast. He's in beast mode. But if he doesn't work on his accuracy, if he can't win the game with his legs, if they're not ready to lock him down, if they have him locked down, there's nothing Cam Newton can do with that overthrowing people and throwing at their feet. He has to work on his accuracy. If Cam Newton spent one offseason, like when he was in Carolina, the season that we went undefeated, he worked with Kurt Warner that offseason on his accuracy, and he came in that season, and you saw we went, what was it, 15-0? Man, yeah. That's all he has to do is work on his accuracy. If Cam Newton worked on his accuracy, he will be the best quarterback in football.
Right. Absolutely. So one more time, like we agree on that. So perfect play, the perfect person calling plays, and you need time to be in sync with your receivers. And Tampa Bay has the offense. They just don't, they have the offense. And, the same way, I believe, like you said, I also believe that the Patriots, they got what it takes to be a great team. Because that division is not even it's not really a great division. I mean, next year, you think about it, the Patriots could still dominate that league.
Well, think about what you're saying. Just because their division is weak doesn't make them a great team. And a lot of times the Patriots had an easy road to the playoffs, and then they get to the playoffs, all you got to do is win a couple key games, and they're there in the Super Bowl. Thus, 6 Super Bowls.
Well, that's what happens when you win your division and you win the division one,
That home field advantage is something. That's where we got the tuck rule. That's where we got that home field advantage is something. But let's go through the picture this week.
Look at
it. And this week, I'm not going to take it easy on you. I'm not going to just pick the other one just to be devil's advocate. I'm going to pick the winning teams. Thursday games, Texans at the Lions. What's your pick?
Texas is coming up with another win. If they won last week, they're going to win this week. Texas wins this one.
Yes, I'm putting them in my fantasy football game. I got Cooks and Fuller starting on my fantasy teams. I have to win these last two games to even make the playoffs in like a third of my fantasy football leagues. Fantasy football has been rough for me this season, boy. So both of us agreed. The Texans beat the Lions on Turkey Day. Washington at the Cowboys. I'm gonna go first this time. Cowboys all the way. What can we say? They're only playing the W's, but don't count Alex Smith out. I think it will still be a nice game.
Okay. So just like I'm going Washington all the way because I think the Cowboys. I'm calling Washington. Washington is about to give them at 1:30 tomorrow. Tune in, America. Alex Smith is about to throw for 300 yards, possibly die. He might not finish this game, but he's gonna win. They gonna win. The Cowboys are about to get demolished tomorrow. They're boys ready to play.
Demolished.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be a good game.
Okay.
I'm 30. In an hour in, I'm gonna call you to see if you're okay.
PB should be back next week, but I want you to call in when PB comes back. Hey, this week I'm putting my foot down. I'm going to do just about a perfect sheet. Watch. I picked the Texans. I picked the Cowboys. You picked Washington. Let's move on to the next Sunday games. Dolphins at the Jets. Do the Jets get their first win?
Who's go? Is my little Hawaiian homie gonna start? If he starts, I think they go for a second round.
You know what? The Dolphins are monkey wrenching their own season. I have to say this before we go to the next game. Fitzpatrick had the Fitz magic, had them looking stellar, and then he came in that game in the fourth quarter and looked like he had to take chances he shouldn't even had to take. That would have been an easy game for them if Fitzpatrick was starting. You put Tua in too soon. You should have let Fitzpatrick finish his year out. And when Fitzpatrick had the game up and manageable, then you could have threw Tua in to let him get some reps. I don't mind you letting Tua get some reps. But the Dolphins had an awesome season going where they would have went to the playoffs and they could have made some noise with Fitzpatrick. Tua will have his time, but I just don't think this was Tua time. I made the statement and said it's Tua time because they were putting them in, but
well, if you were Fitzmagic and you get your job stripped, when you knew what was going to happen, you knew when they made that draft. But again, nothing really surprises you. You are one of the smartest quarterbacks in the league. But you are not when you had your chance to start, you're just never a great starter. But you were doing actually good this year. But the game plan was that once they felt that this kid was ready to go, you knew what you signed up for.
Look, so I understand what you're saying, but from if you're in business, and you get some and you get another piece that is supposed to be good for your business, but the person that you have right now is doing outstanding work. Do you take the chance on switching up, putting somebody else in to try to keep the same magic that the guy had that was doing good already? It doesn't seem like a good business choice, and it doesn't seem like a good coaching choice. I don't think the coach made this choice. I think the owners came in there and they rushed and made the coach put Tua in there because Tua. It doesn't seem like a good business move. You're selling. You're winning games, so seats are selling. Well, I can't say seats are selling because of COVID, but people are watching. Merchandise is going off the shelf. The Miami's back in action, and you're excited because you're like, even if Fitzpatrick gets hurt, then Tua should come in. Even if he hurt his finger or something, then you put Tua in. But you don't throw Tua in when the Fitz magic is working. Come on, man.
But you know the way to. If you win games, if they win, which they are winning, this conversation doesn't really matter. So when it comes down to it,
they were winning before they put Tua in. Tua only won one game. And then the game that he came in and they won, it had nothing to do with him. It had everything to do with their defense and their special teams.
But it's believed. You drafted this guy because you drafted him to play. You didn't draft him for him to sit. They drafted a guy who literally probably could have dropped down at least the second round. There's been way more healthy people that have been down, like we could have been down in the draft stock because of injuries like that. But they believe in this kid. They see something, which is fine, but that was the game plan. The way I look at it right now, loses this game, and they keep playing with him. And come next year, I guarantee you, Fitzpatrick is going to get traded. He's probably, if I was him, I'll go somewhere else because he could do the same thing he's doing right now for another team.
I could see Fitzpatrick in Minnesota. Minnesota needs a transition to get another quarterback. So I could see him going to Minnesota and going to Minnesota for pretty cheap and getting to Minnesota.
He can go to the Eagles. He can go to the Eagles. The Eagles are not set on what they're doing yet. He can go up there. And,
the Eagles paid Carson Wentz. The Eagles, and you know what? That's disrespectful. How are you going to want the Eagles to get rid of Carson Wentz? This is not Carson Wentz is not in charge of Deshaun Jackson being hurt. He's not in charge of all his players being hurt. Stop putting that on. Carson Wentz doesn't have his wide receivers. He doesn't have his number one tight end. I've said this before. This is not Carson Wentz's fault. Even though he has made mistakes, it's not his fault, man. And Philly needs to get off Carson Wentz back. Wait till these people come back healthy. And when you have a healthy team, if he's making mistakes, then say it's Carson Wentz. Right now, he's playing with backups. He's playing with third string and second string backups, and you want him to look like Peyton Manning. No, he's not Peyton Manning. He's Carson Wentz.
They just wanted Carson Wentz to look like he looked that 1 year, which they just want to see if it's real. They paid him.
What 1 year? See, that 1 year you're talking about, is that the 1 year that he got hurt when he went out, he was doing good, and then Foles came in and took him to the promised land? Come on now.
Well,
it was suspect when he came in. I'm only calling the way I see it, but let's go back into these picks. So are you taking the Dolphins over the Jets, or are you taking the Jets to get their first win? If Tua plays, you say the Jets will win?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna go with you on that, but I don't think that I must have to stay with the Dolphins because I think what's going to happen again is Tua's going to come in, and in the first half, I don't want to say he's going to look horrible because this guy is a decent quarterback. I just believe that he got thrown into the action a little too soon, so he's not going to look up to par. And Fitzpatrick will be playing the second half, and Fitzpatrick will bring him back in the game and still win this Jets game. That's the way I see it.
The Jets, they have something to look at now. They saw him. They saw exactly what happened last week. And the Jets, like I said, man, it sucks what happened to New York as a whole. But I feel like the Jets need one. This is a game like, the Jets, like I told you last week.
You sound like PB because PB thinks the Jets are going to win. You sound like PB, but okay.
Did I tell you last week? I told you, watch out. You didn't believe it when I said Houston Texans was going to win. And guess what? They did it. So you remember this one now. I'm going to put an X on that Jets game. Jets win that one.
I picked the Texans to win, though, last week. But I didn't think they were going to win. But I picked them to win.
They told me that's what's going to happen.
So you taking the Jets, I'm taking the Dolphins. Cardinals at the Patriots.
Oh, Cardinals.
I'm taking the Cardinals also. Carolina in Minnesota playing the Vikings.
I already know what you gonna pick. You know,
everybody knows what I'm gonna pick. Cali Cat Pack, Roy Wyatt, Carolina will go in there and they're gonna give Kirk Cousins the business, just like we did last week to Matthew Stafford. We're gonna go to Minnesota and we're gonna do the same thing. How about that?
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna make it look good before the season's over with.
Kirk Cousins gonna be like, you like that? You like that? You gonna see just that again. You like that?
all that says sounds nice and fun. Okay, we gonna see. You make sure you call me on Sunday like you were doing, sending those low blow texts. The Browns at the Jaguars.
All right. The Browns for sure on that one.
Yes, sir.
They're a good team. It's just they're gonna make the playoffs for sure.
For the first time in a long time.
Yeah, and they might win the first game.
Whoa! You said it. I said they're gonna be one and done. They might win their first game.
It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good. That's like winning the Super Bowl. Winning the first game.
You know what's sad is that the Browns are doing so good without Odell Beckham. Just think what people will be saying if Odell Beckham was still there. Wow.
Yeah, but they still with or without him, this team has been stacking for years. I love the Browns. Like, I love what they do. I just don't. Baker is just Baker, but I love the Browns. Have been the last two seasons. The Browns been good, like good enough to compete. Like, they just shoot themselves. You know, they just lose by 3, 4, by 7 points or less. They are not. You're not out here blowing them out. They haven't been that team that you just blow out the last 2-3 years. If you think, hey, you think I'm lying? Do the research. They're not a bad team.
They're not a bad team.
Of
course, they're not a bad team. Everybody, you know what about that statement? The Browns are full of number 1 draft picks. Of course, they're not a bad team. They're full of number 1 draft picks, number 1, number 2. They've been the butt of the NFL for so long. This team, wow. Just think of all the players they have on this team that came from number 1 and number 2 draft picks. Think about that.
Yes, but a lot of draft picks and a lot of coaches a lot of new coaches. So think about it. It's just all it takes is one good coach to be like, enough where they just quit firing the coaches because it's not the coach's fault. It's just
Hey, when you hire a coach to win games. Now, if you hire a coach in the NFL and they're all professional teams, I know you heard people say they're all professionals, no matter what team is playing. If you hire a coach and you hire him to the Browns, and what's the main fact at this point out there? The team is full of number 1 and number 2 draft picks. You expect something.
Yes, you hire a coach for the Browns. He's not going to buy a house. He's not going to buy a house out there. He knows exactly what to expect. He knows if I don't do better than the last guy, they'll just give me maybe half a season or 2 years. You know, so you know how that works.
Hey, on the Browns team, you could lose your job right then and there. Right then and there. But the Jaguars will be starting Mike Glennon. I can't pronounce his name. Glennon at quarterback. So I would, the Jags. I don't know what's going on with them. Also, that's a team that's in major rebuilds mode. Leonard Fournette, they just gave him up. What did they get? A number 3 draft pick for Fournette? I don't understand that move, but hey.
When they lost Campbell, Calais, I'm like, I already just say, like, how you let that man go?
What about Jalen?
Oh well, Jalen. Okay, this is how I feel with these cornerbacks. Yeah, Jalen is Jalen. It ain't like
Jaden is the real deal. People talk bad about him a lot, but he's the real deal when it comes to being a cornerback.
So was what's his name from George Norman. So was
No, come on. Josh Norman benefited just like Tom Brady. Josh Norman benefited from the system. He benefited from a system where the front four and those linebackers were putting so much damage that when the ball came out there, you knew when the ball was going out there. It was telegraphed.
What would you say about Stephon Gilmore? How come Gilmore is not getting that same love like the loud, cocky ones do? Because that's all they do is the league. I mean, Sports Center, all of them, they go for the flashy guys. Gilmore comes in and he plays every fucking game, and nobody does. Nobody talks about Gilmore. Gilmore, if I had to choose between him, I'd pick Stephon Gilmore any day of the week before I pick Jalen.
Okay, but you know what? Now that we talk about loud, cocky people, what did you feel about Tom Brady not shaking hands and walking out this week?
Well, Tom Brady, he's a diva, man. When you get to be Tom Brady, you can do whatever you want. So guess what? He's a Hall of Famer. He don't have to shake nobody's hand.
You're giving him an excuse. If that was Cam Newton or someone else, they would have been all over his case because he showed unsportsmanlike conduct. But because this is Tom Brady, now I can give him a pass because of COVID. Because I'm a COVID phobe myself. If I don't like going around people because of COVID. So, but he just played 4 quarters, so you can't say that. He got sacked too many times in that game to say that he was scared to go in somebody's face.
No, Tom Brady was pissed. He was because that game they should have won that game.
Should have won it in good fashion. But let me tell you something. And people can argue with me about this statement. I like what Tom Brady did. You know why I like what Tom Brady did? Because he wants to win. He's not a loser. He wants to win. And all that talk about being a diva, when you I understand about being good, having good sportsmanship. He didn't curse nobody out, but what I'm saying is, I hate when I'm watching a game and it's my team playing. And let's say Teddy Bridgewater. Let's say Teddy Bridgewater's out there and he's having a bad game. He's throwing interceptions, but then he's on the bench smiling. He's laughing like we not losing. Just like you said something. Was it you that said something about the Tampa Bay out there and the defense acting like they winning the game?
I was just gonna say that because that's when I knew it was over. Because that's why these cats can win. Because you're still down 7 in New England. Guess what? That would never happen. It would never happen. Bruce Arians should be ashamed of that. You were down 7 points. You did what you're supposed to do. You got to 3 it out. You know what I'm saying? What's his name was looking for Cup the entire. He wanted Cup to catch at least 20. He wanted to get an NFL record with Cup that game.
Well, you know where that came from? That came from because they were supposed to blow that game out, like I told you they were supposed to. They had all those little dances planned because they expected to be 2 or 3 touchdowns over. And when it didn't happen, what we gonna do with that little dance that we planned?
Exactly, and that's why you see the difference. Why this team, you don't want to watch this team. You don't want to watch a team in January. You don't want to watch Tampa Bay. I mean, JPP does his thing. But let's remember, they got a lot of growing up to do. That defense. They got a long way to go. They don't deserve a Super Bowl yet.
Ooh, they don't deserve a Super Bowl?
Maybe they do something in the next month, because after the Tampa Bay beat, after the way they got embarrassed by the Saints twice, you should not be celebrating. You should not, even when you're up 14, you should act like you've been there before. And that's why that's another thing with the cockiness. But that's where the league is.
You know what?
They all celebrate.
Tampa Bay with that all-star team that they have, like I'm telling you, they were already feeling themselves before the games won. When they got Tom Brady, Tampa Bay had already told themselves, "We'll be in the Super Bowl. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that." I'm telling you, they told themselves that already, and that's this game that they just played and got their butts kicked shows it. It shows that that's what they feel. They felt that they were feeling themselves. They counted their chickens before they hatched. That's what somebody. That's what they did. They smelled the coffee before it brewed. You know they
But you're still down. It's not like it was a tie game. If it was a tie game, you celebrate. Go ahead. Your offense don't.
I'm with you 100% on it. I'm with you 100%, but that's what you get. We got to move on to these other picks. The Titans at the Colts.
Oh, do I get to go 2 for 2 on these Colts again? Do I get to? Why not? Put the Colts down on me.
You know what? Phillip Rivers, Tennessee. I'm gonna say it like this: if the Colts let Tennessee come in there and let Tennessee abuse them like they abuse everybody with that running game, and let Tennessee's defense dictate the time of the game, the Titans win this game. But if the Colts go in there and Phillip Rivers dishing that ball around, where they're going back and forth, I favor the Colts because Tennessee's Tannehill, he's the Achilles heel of that team to me. Even though Tannehill is a decent quarterback, he makes good plays, he makes good decisions. He's not that quarterback that you think in the fourth quarter that's going to get them down and in that 2 point in that 2 minute game and get that winning touchdown. The Colts, on the other hand, could be down, and Phillip Rivers can get them down to make that field goal or that last 2 minute touchdown. So I'm going with you with the Colts. But like I said, if they let Tennessee abuse them with the running game and let their defense do their thing, Tennessee will pull it out. I want to go with Tennessee so bad, but I'm taking the Colts with you. The Giants at the Bengals.
All right, don't even know who's playing. Who's going to be the quarterback?
I'm taking the G-Man no matter who's the quarterback.
Yeah, the Bengals don't lose. The Bengals are done. They're done. They lose that game.
I feel bad because that quarterback, I feel bad for him, man. I hope he gets better and comes back and he's able to come back to the same player that he was. I hope he's not like Andy Dalton. You remember Andy Dalton was the man, and then he had that bad injury, and he's never been the same.
But Andy Dalton, regardless, if AJ Green didn't get hurt as often as he got, they got to me. The thing about the Bengals is that I look at it. They had AJ. They also had that.
They still got AJ.
And they had what's his name? The tight end they had from Notre Dame. What's his name? They had Tyler Eifert, and he was nice too. So they always had two studs. They always had a good, safe running back. So I mean, Andrew Dalton, I enjoyed watching him play. You know, that's why I hope that what's going on with the Cowboys. I hope that at the end of the day, they still win that division, and Andrew Dalton still gets to go to the playoffs. So going back to that, the Giants win this one because it's just what it is.
It is what it is. We both going with the Giants. Chargers at the Bills. I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah, I got. There has to be the Bills. I mean, as much as I like the kids.
Don't say that because that quarterback over there in Los Angeles, that boy can dish that ball.
Yeah, I like it. I love that Charger. I always like to at least pick one LA team every week.
Oh no, don't worry. We coming up to LA. You'll be able to do that. Well, you'll be able to do that. So, are you taking the Chargers or the Bills?
I'll take the Bills.
The Raiders at Atlanta Falcons. I'm taking the Raiders.
Falcons.
You're taking the Falcons?
I'm taking the Falcons.
Hey, I'm taking the Raiders. The Raiders are feeling
They're
themselves
nice.
after coming so close to Kansas City. They're gonna go in there. They're gonna and Josh Jacobs is gonna run all over Atlanta's defense.
No, I'm taking them. This is a horrible pick on my part just to pick the Falcons because sometimes miracles happen.
Hey, you know what? You can deal out that favorite. I won't say favoritism. That feeling sorry for Atlanta, so you just want to pick them. They can do it. You got that underdog thing. The underdog can win this one. Okay, you go ahead and do that thing. San Francisco at Los Angeles Rams. Here you go.
Oh, we get the sweep on them dudes, man. Are you serious? I don't know the option. That's why I wanted to pick the Rams. I wanted to pick the.
You know what? I forgot you had a personal interest in this game. You're a 49er fan. I'm sorry.
And we are coming back. If we win this game right now, let's just say, if we win this game, which we are, man.
You know what? I have to blow the whistle on that one. There's no way you're going to win this game. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Tony. Your Los Angeles Rams going to totally kick the San Francisco in the douche.
It's like last time we played, right? We have more players than we did last time. We have more healthy players now than we did before.
Okay.
We win this game.
Is Kittle playing?
Might be, but we got the running backs back.
Is your quarterback playing?
Might be. I'm still.
Might be. Hey, you know what?
Hey.
I'll give you a 50-50 if your quarterback and Kittle come back. I'll give you a 50-50. But guess what? The Rams, I don't care if your quarterback and your tight end come back, and I give you the 50-50. The Rams is going to dominate this game.
It's not like if you said we didn't lose to that before. When was the last time we lost to the Rams? I don't remember. It's been a while.
That's fine. This Sunday, you will lose to the Rams. So now you won't have a problem remembering. It'll be fresh in your mind. Saints at the Broncos.
This is a division game. This is the Rams. This time last year, we played them in L.A.
You talking with your heart, man. I hear your heart beating and everything. You talking with your heart. But, hey, it's okay, man. It's okay.
Hey, you chose your team. You chose your team. I got to choose my team.
Hey, last week, I didn't want to pick my team, but I still picked my team. And you saw what we did? You know what they did? Some people on Carolina called me up. It was like, hey, when you losing faith, we don't like that. They told me to watch the game and watch what they do. And, hey, they got my faith back. We about to go in there and smash the Minnesota Vikings. You pick the 49ers. I picked the Rams. We're going to see what happens. How about that?
Reigning champions of the division. It's just a tough. You guys everyone keeps forgetting that.
You sound like a Cowboy fan now. Now you're talking about reigning champions. This is 2020. Let's stay with this season, okay? Let's stay on this season. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I hope somebody's around you right now that they can give you a hug. It's okay. It's okay. Let's move to the next game. Saints at the Broncos.
Oh, yeah, the Saints.
Taking the Saints also. Hill, hey. He's looking pretty decent.
He looked good, but I still think that you have a good quarterback in Winston. Why did you bring him here if you're not gonna play him?
To have a solid backup. What I said before you called when I was talking about the last games, the New Orleans Saints have good trade bait with both of those quarterbacks. They in a great position because this is Drew Brees' last year. He out of there. So they're gonna make this push and try to make these playoffs and try to get to the Super Bowl. And they do have what it takes to do it. But Sean Payton has been overthinking games, and this is the reason why the Saints should have won the Super Bowl, in my opinion, 2 times out of the last 3 years. But
you got to got to make it to the Super Bowl to win the Super Bowl.
I understand what you're saying, but you do realize. See, that's what I tell people. Be honest. The Saints got cheated one year, and then the next year, arguably, they got cheated again. But they shouldn't even been in that position. Sean Payton should let Drew Brees be those years, and the Saints would have pulled it out. But not to take too much time because we're winding down here, and I know we got stuck on the San Francisco and the Rams game because it was personal to you, and your heart was just this big, and it was just like. But hey. Hey, you know what? We can do better than that text. You know, Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, they all work. They all work. And I'm taking the Los Angeles Rams over the 49ers this game. And that's only because you guys are really dinged up. You know what I'm saying? And every time I asked you, was Kittle, was Garoppolo, like maybe.
That's all they be saying. Nobody's giving. Hey, they're not telling nobody anything. Because if I was that, I wouldn't tell nobody anything. We're gonna wait to see how we play.
All right.
I'll back a quarterback as shit.
Now, before we go into this next game, this is going to be the game of the week. Everybody's going to deem it the game of the week before any games are played. Because you took the Saints over the Broncos, and I took the Saints over the Broncos. Kansas City Chiefs going to Tampa Bay. Mahomes is going to play Tom Brady. Do you think the Buccaneers got embarrassed and finally will make it a game?
No. Okay, so two things. I'm gonna tell you this: the Chiefs got exposed. Their defense got exposed. But then, did they really get exposed, or was the Raiders' offense kind of good? It's hard for me to tell.
The Chiefs. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. I just want to interject this real quick. The Chiefs have been exposed with their defense. They've been exposed. The Chiefs. You guys exposed the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Oh, I already know that, but that became a way they played from coming back. Because we would have won that Super Bowl if it wasn't for the offensive pass interference that happened. Oh. That threw the entire game away. But let's not talk about old stuff. Let's talk about now.
Come. Bring it in here. I'll give you a hug, Bassett. Come on. Let me give you a hug. I'm gonna show you love. Hey, because I'm gonna tell you like this. Their defense got exposed, but the offense was off in that Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes and Hill had you guys beat a numerous amount of times. They messed that. They were off the first part of that. The Chiefs are the team that first round bye does not help them. That hurts them. The Chiefs are a team. If they play straight through, they will dominate. Giving them time off that week and then coming to play, they came in a little rusty. They would have blew you guys out in that Super Bowl. Please believe me. No. Okay. Hey, the Chiefs at the Buccaneers.
The Chiefs win this one. You know why? Just because, they just might just end up losing 3 games, maybe 2 at the most this season.
Okay. Who's your pick for the Super Bowl this season?
Of course, I got to go with the Chiefs because that's just what I believe is going to make it, regardless of all that stuff.
Well, I'm not talking about making. I'm talking about who's going to win the Super Bowl this season.
The Super Bowl, the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl.
Okay. Well, you're on the same page as me. I picked the Chiefs last season before the season started, and at the end of the season, if you go back and watch one of my old shows, I picked the Chiefs to win back-to-back seasons. The mess around people.
Not to lose every game they played. Almost every game. You and the rest of the world.
I'm taking the Chiefs, but Tom Brady and company could, if they come up with a decent playbook, they could give the Chiefs problems because the Buccaneers defense is way better than the Chiefs defense. I'm gonna tell you that.
We agree.
Huh?
Absolutely. If they're better, but they're also need, like I said, they need more discipline on Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay
The whole team needs more discipline. This is why Tom Brady is so frustrated. They're over there. Tom Brady was more pissed off than me and you about the little the boat they made. He like you guys won't even catch the damn ball. I can't throw the ball better than I'm throwing the ball, and then you're not catching the ball when it touches your hands. Hey.
Yeah. But it be like that though. You know how the game is. That's just sometimes, you know.
Let's get to a divisional game. Chicago at Green Bay.
What's up?
Chicago at Green Bay. This is a Sunday night game.
Oh, Green Bay, Chicago, man, they started off so good. But Green Bay wins this one. Chicago, yeah, Green Bay wins.
Does Green Bay win convincingly, or is it going to be a decent game?
So discount double check is going to have a game, one of those games. One of those the game that you thought he was going to have last week, he's going to have it this week. He's throwing for over 350 yards, at least 3-4 touchdowns, or it's going to ball out.
Well, I'm going with Green Bay also. The only thing about Green Bay has a brilliant upside, but their downside is, and I've been saying it, they have one wide receiver. I mean, they're making other wide receivers show up, but Adams is not going to save them. I don't know why they didn't go for Antonio Brown or Dez Bryant. In fact, they should try to tell Jordy Nelson to come back off of and play in the NFL again. I don't know what's going on with Green Bay.
You've had going back to Dez Bryant. This is where I know where I look at it this way. You think that Dez Bryant and Antonio Bryant are just going to make a difference because of who they were 3 years ago?
No. What I'm trying to say is he has nobody right now. And in the NFL, people play off of their names. Just like there's a lot of people that were Hall of Famers, and they were supposed to be this and they're supposed to be that, and they played way past their time, and people give them the respect of what they used to be. This is one of those. This is what's going on in Green Bay is somebody doesn't like Aaron Rodgers. They want to get him out clearly because they drafted a quarterback. I said this with PB. I've said it to a few people. Clearly, somebody does not like Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay because they won't give him enough help over there, and they drafted a quarterback to make him think like, why is my job at jeopardy when I take us to the playoffs every season?
I object. I object to that because let's just compare. Would you rather take your record, or would you take Green Bay's record? Would you take your team over Green Bay?
Would I take my team over Green Bay?
Like the last 3 years, 3-4 years, would you take the Packers over, like just pound for pound, the way they run that team? The fact of the matter is, Aaron Rodgers is not going to. Aaron Rodgers only has maybe 3 good years. At the most, you have to give future, and that's what they did. And they're not going. They see something in this kid. Aaron Rodgers knows because Aaron Rodgers they drafted him knowing he was going to be the successor, and he sat and learned. So that's exactly what this kid's going to do. And yes, they should get help, but they're like, are we really broken? Because they're like, you think about it. Last year, they were 2 games away from the Super Bowl. They were away from the Super Bowl. We'd be having a different conversation right now if they had a better team than if they came to play. But the Niners were so good last year. That defense was so good last year. It didn't matter who came around. They were destined to run that division. After 10-0, we could not be stopped.
Boy. And how quickly the tables have turned. Y'all came in this season, y'all won 4 games. So now y'all being stopped a lot.
No, we got hurt this season. And we have the best division. We have the best division in football in the last, God knows where, in the last 5-6 years. So we are playing in a tough division. So
I give y'all the last 3 years. You're right. I give that to you. I get that to you. But you're taking Green Bay over Chicago?
Absolutely. Green Bay over Chicago.
I'm taking Green Bay over Chicago.
Is an over.
Don't forget,
over
you can always call me, and we can always put a little money on that San Francisco Rams game. Monday night.
Oh.
Monday night's an easy game. I know we're both going to take. It's a no-brainer.
I'm going to say it on the air right now. I'm going to throw, you talking about, if you want to, what are you going to put money on? You going to put money on just a Niner game? We'll throw that in. I'll throw a little dub in there. I'll cash up it.
Okay. What other game were you talking about?
It's just like having lunch. We're just going to say we're going to call that on lunch.
Okay.
On lunch date.
Okay.
That's that night.
Is there another game you want to talk about?
Nah, just that one.
Okay. Let me know that.
Hey, that's a gentleman bet. That's 20.
Hey, you know, I'll give me a nice little snack pack with that 20. Seahawks at the Eagles.
I'm sorry?
Seahawks at the Eagles, and I heard a lot of Eagles players supposed to be coming back.
Man, that's Seahawks all the way, man. There's no way.
Yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks also, man. Thank you for calling in, man. Please, Omar, please call back next week. I believe PB will be in next week, where we can have a good little triangle a conversation about what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, most definitely. It's always a good time. Yeah, I can't wait. I will call. I'm just got to set the calendar. I don't have anything. You caught me good too because I totally forgot about the show. Though.
Well, see, the show was actually supposed to be tomorrow, and I was gonna go set up at PB House and do the show, but that'd have been a lot of trouble right now. I'm trying to move around, and I really don't like, because when I move around with this COVID thing going on, I got to go grab my mask and let me show you my mask. Oh yeah, Carolina all the way. I got to grab my mask. I got to clean everything off. I didn't want to go through that, so I'll be at PB House tomorrow having Thanksgiving dinner with him and his family, and next week we'll be on, and you make sure you call in so we can go through this. I'm trying to go live with him from his house, though.
All right, well, sure. Good at me then. Have a good week, brother. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody out there. Y'all stay safe. Much love.
Thank you, sir. And I will talk to you soon. Yes, people. And as for you guys, please like, subscribe, and share. I can't say it enough. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for checking my show out. Always, you can always leave me comments on YouTube or on here. I will talk back. You can DM me. I will talk back. And if you think you got better picks than mine, I'll back mine up. Just so you know that. Thank you, folks. And I will see you next Thursday. Hopefully we get PB in here. Peace out.
Flame on, flame on, flame on, flame on, flame on.
It's about that time of day, let all the warriors come out and play. You tuned in to PB Smiley and Wayne Holloway. And me, my name's Santos, the Human Torch. And it's the hottest show around, it's called Blow the Whistle Sports. And today's the day, we talking sports and we came to play. Got no filter, we say what they all afraid to say. As last time we checked, football was a man's sport. So we don't let nothing fly like you ain't got a passport. We lot of fans, we attached to y'all. We talk about everything in the catalog, from football to basketball. We never had a loss. My team's so official, got stripes like the ref. That's why they call us Blow the Whistle. Big Packett on go like a loaded pistol. If you got a problem with us, let us know the issue. We giving y'all the realest talk on live. Tap in with us, btwsport.com. Johnny.